Hello everybody and welcome to this tutorial. Today I will show you the difference. I will demonstrate it between capture filters and display filters. Now display filters we have used extensively before in Wireshark graphical user interface. I mean all the filters that we've typed in there, they were actually display filters. And what that means is that all of the packets coming in on an interface, going in and out from an interface, were actually captured, but only ones that you wanted to be displayed were displayed. However, that is not always very effective. In fact, more often than not, that is not a realistic solution to your problem. Primarily because if you're doing this capture, if you're conducting this capture on a busy network, on a larger network or something of a kind, you will find that you will run out of disk space very fast, that the resources on your system will be pretty much eaten up alive, and you will encounter some serious problems there. That is why you have capture filters. It specifies a very narrow band of traffic that you want to capture, and therewith your file sizes are a lot smaller. That said, I'm just going to go ahead and use my first filters, capture filters. However, I will use them in a bit of a different way. Even though the syntax of the capture filters differs to a significant extent, it is a good idea primarily because you're here in terminal to make it as clean and as neat as possible. And here's a trick on how you can do that. So just type in T-Shark dash I for interface. So mine at the moment is P8 P1. That's my wired interface, and in addition to that I will pass an F argument. Now F argument is a filter. The first thing I'm gonna do there is open the quotation marks, press enter, and you can see that I have this greater than sign, and here I can list my filters one at a time, and I will be able to see them in a clear way, so I know exactly what I'm filtering. Now see, here's what I mean by it. So just type in port. I'm just gonna go ahead and type in port 80, press enter again. So this can go on to pretty much infinity, well, relative infinity, as the resources in my computer are limited. I'm just going to go ahead and type OR port 443, and with this I am making sure that pretty much all the traffic generated by, well, maybe not all, but pretty much all the traffic related to the websites and stuff of a kind will be captured, namely HTTP and HTTPS traffic will for sure be within this capture filter. And I'm gonna go ahead, close in the quotation marks, press enter. Yep, there we go. So it's now conducting a line capture, but since there's nothing really happening, there's nothing for it to do. There's nothing for it to capture. And that said, I'm gonna go ahead and open up a browser so that I would generate some sort of traffic. So I have my default page there, I already have some traffic. In addition to that, I don't know, I'm gonna open up a Google, and I'm going to go ahead and open YouTube. That should generate a significant amount of traffic. Just by loading those websites, you burden it to a very significant extent. And there we go. You see just how much traffic there is from opening up those simple 3 websites. Here we go. We have conducted that capture. I'm going to break it up here. I just wanted to show you that you can use it, how you can use these filters and how you can use them in different ways. Notice that this particular display option only has captured HTTP and HTTPS traffic or related to it. Pretty much everything on port 80 and port 443, although on port 443 have some other encryption in general going on, so it might capture a lot of other things as well. In any case, there's let me just go ahead and show you another thing. And you see, when I go with my arrow, with my up arrow, I can list out my commands, and you can see how neatly is it displayed here. I mean, you can literally have like 100 of these filters, and you do not want them all in one line. Believe me, that is never a good idea. You will lose yourselves. You will not be able to see them. It is much better to list them here, one or a group of them per line, and then you will have a clear overview of everything happening here. One more thing that I would like to go over here is the syntax of the command. So, not the syntax of the command, but the syntax of the filter itself. Notice that I have written port 80. So it's not DST, it's not like TCP port or DST or something of a kind where you use dots to pass in different, to specify different, not values, but different types of traffic. Rather, instead, you just type in port space 80 and then type in or, literally the word or, port space 443. Okay, so I've just cleared the screen, and the thing that I wanted to show you is that not only can you continue passing arguments within these quotation marks, but rather instead you don't actually need to delete them or anything of a kind in order to continue. You can just do this -f and open a second series of filters as well, especially useful if you want, for example, this set of filters to apply to this interface, and then you can say -i VLP2S0, which is my wireless interface, and have a second set of filters that will apply to that particular interface. So on this interface, I don't know, I want to capture DNS traffic, so port 53. All traffic coming in or out on port 53 will be recorded. Press enter and this command, yep, there we go. It says capturing on P8P1 and VLP2S0. We'll just go over this command once more. So go ahead, type in tshark-I P8P1, specify the interface, specify a filter or a set of capture filters for that particular interface. However, I have another interface, and for that interface I don't want to use the same set of filters as I have used here. Rather, instead, I want to specify a different set of filters. In this case, I've just chosen port 53, the DNS traffic in general. Anyway, I hope that this was helpful. More to come in the follow-up tutorials. I hope that I'll see you there. Until then, I bid you farewell.